Okay. So we'll just do one prayer, Om Sahana Vavatu, and everybody can do it in their own homes. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Hari Om. Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Okay, so we are at that section of Sthita Prajna, means man of steady wisdom. And just to recap, what we did last time. Basically, Arjun asked a question. Krishna Bhagavan told him that the persons whose wisdom becomes steady in this knowledge, he's the one who gets self-realized. So now Arjun had a very obvious question like we do. What is there really a person like that in the world? If there is, then how does he feel inside? How does he sit in meditation? And how does he act out in the world? Transacting with the world. So that's where we were. And then Krishna Bhagavan actually gave an answer. And as I said, there are 18 verses they're going to describe. And this is one of the most beautiful section of, that tells us the goal of Bhagavad Gita. So here the concept may seem very hi-fi, but when we analyze it, we will know where we are, where this whole thing is coming from. And also, we can get inspired to be like that. So sometimes we may feel, my God, I cannot do this. But the whole idea of this discussion is that we can move towards that, And I think that the current situation is probably an environment that we can practice this so much. You have a karma bhumi in front of you right now. That's how I feel. So it's good to, look at the news and know what's going on in the world, but what is going on in our heads and how do we deal with it is going to give us a lot of tips here. I thought this was very appropriate from that perspective, and it's good that we are hashing it out. So the last verse that we did in detail was verse 55, and he gave literally like a summary there. Who is a man of realization or man of steady wisdom? He's saying a man who has completely cast off all desires of the mind and is satisfied in the self by the self. Then he is called the Prajna. So now I'm not going to go in all the details because we already did it, but just to remind ourselves that the reason we have those desires is it's because of ignorance. We think that we can get pleasure out of this world. That's why we have those desires. So he's coming from a plane where he knows that this is, the pleasures are just fleeting. Yeah, we do get pleasures, but he knows this is not a real bliss. And then he is satisfied in the self by the self. So then we discuss in detail what samadhi means. Samadhi in this context means, Kamlaji Hari Om, Samadhi in this context means that somebody who revels in that knowledge all the time. It's like a background music for him, continuously there, no matter where he transacts, what he does. So it's literally in Samadhi 24 hours. Now this, I know Joe was saying that technically it's not possible, but then we discussed that suppose if I'm dreaming, okay, and in my dream I know it is a dream, then how would I behave? I might enjoy the dream, but I'm not going to get disturbed by it. That's the closest analogy. And it so happened that last couple of days I watched some NDEs. You know what is NDE?
Yes, near-death experience.
Yes. And because of this, now we have so many. We have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, and पता नहीं, there are so many things out there, very interesting ones, and everybody across the board who had that experience and came back, because usually it's like, how do I know this has happened? Across the board, I watched 4 or 5 people's account. They had one common thing. They said that when they were in that realm, it looked more than real, and this world looked totally like dreamy. And when they came back, that's how they feel now. They know it's a temporary thing, and that's why nothing bothers them. So it kind of validated this completely to me, because these were like people, and who were not religious, who were atheists, who were had never heard of Eastern philosophy. They later on probably got more interested in it. So there are a lot of proof out there. And as far as the different terms that has been used in Bhagavad Gita, so Sthita Pragna, everybody knows now that word. Sthita Dhi is another one. Dhi is your intellect. So it is, your intellect has become steady. And then...
Yes. Sthir buddhi and sthit pragya.
Right. Sthira buddhi, so sthita dhi, and then samadhisthasya means जो समाधि में बैठा हुआ है, but उसका मैंने context बताया यहाँ पे. And then a man of realization or स्थित प्रज्ञ को आगे जाके कृष्ण भगवान ने भक्त भी बोला है. तो भक्त के लक्षण बताए हैं. तो उसमें it is a little bit soaked in bhakti, but basically it's the same person given a different name in different contexts. So I'm just kind of jumping a little bit, but since we are doing the entire Gita. And then you saw that how in Mandukya Upanishad, the same person was called Brahman. And we went in detail कि उस context में ब्राह्मण वो जाति वाला ब्राह्मण नहीं है, वो ब्राह्मण है जो who's established in that. So that word has been used, and another word is going to be used in Mandukya will be Vipra. Vipra is again another version of Brahman. And then what was Muni? Muni is another word that's going to come. And Muni का actual meaning होता है जो मौन रहे, okay? But it's not the physical मौन. A lot of people practice that physical मौन, but that is kind of a superficial thing. It's a मौन inside. He's mourn because he's like steady, हम लोग के कैसे विचार चलते रहते हैं constantly, उसका mind जब कुछ कर नहीं हो रहा होता है तो steady होता है. The only reason we have so many thoughts because we think of the past, think of the future, disturb the whole time. And Muni का एक और अर्थ बताया, some literature कि mananashil means the one who contemplates is also Muni. So these all terms are synonym terms. They mean the same thing. So with that background, let's go to the next one. So now, once he said ki, okay, he's the one who doesn't have any desires in his mind, but then he's going to say, open it up more and more. So that gives us some idea what he actually means. Okay, so this is verse 56. So whoever has the Gita, I'm just going to chant and you can just chant at home. Everybody on 56? Dukheshvanud udvignamanaha sukheshu vigata spruhaha vitaraga bhaya krodhaha stitadhi muniruchyate. So look at the Sanskrit words now. Dukheshu, in adversity, means jab dukh aaye tab. Everybody knows this word dukh. So, since I'm doing it slightly differently this time, I want to talk about dukh. Each word we will talk, because then you will feel more connected to Bhagavad Gita. हमारे जिंदगी में जो दुख आते हैं ना, वो वेदांत ने 3 चीज़ों में बांट दिए हैं. So every dukh that we get, you can relate to one of them. And I don't know if you've heard of these terms. I know that Meena ji and Sushil ji probably have heard this. It's called Adi Bhautik Dukh, Adi Devik, and Adhyatmik. So what does it mean? Adi Bhautik means हमारी सराउंडिंग से जो दुख आते हैं, like कोई नेबर ने कोई डिस्टर्बेंस किया, or whatever around, हाउस होल्ड में कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है एंड ऑल दैट. जो 5 भूत हमारे आसपास हैं, मीनिंग 5 एलिमेंट्स, उसमें उसके कारण जो सब गड़बड़ होता है ना, उसको उन्होंने बोला है आदि भौतिक. Okay? So we know that we get upset by it, and it disturbs our mind. The second one is Adi Devik. Adi Devik means we don't have kind of a control. We don't know, some storm आ गया nature में, या कोई भूकंप आ गया and all that. We have absolutely no control, and this virus is a third kind of Adi Devik. That nobody knows. Even the scientists are totally baffled and everything, and it's there. It's affecting the whole world. So that can come under Adi Devik. So that could be another kind of problem, disturbance, dukh. And the third is Adhyatmik. Adhyatmik means coming from within myself. It can be my body giving me trouble. It can be my mind giving me trouble, my intellect giving me trouble, all that trouble that I create myself, or I'm feeling myself in my own self. That's, So, जब भी वो ये दुख का बोल रहे हैं, तो just remember those 3 dukh that you're talking about. So next word is anudvigna manaha, of unshaken mind. Means this person, sthita pragna, muni, brahman, jo bhi bolna ho, man of realization, his mind does not get affected by these 3. So we can see that how a normal person versus him, we are constantly getting bombarded and being affected. Bombardment usko bhi milta hai, 100%. Huh? He's living in this world. So if the virus is there, he gets affected too, or whatever, Everything he gets affected. And his body afflictions are there too. But unshaken mind, and this is one of the most important one, like steady mind means does not get disturbed. So that's how it is. And then the other flip side is sukheshu. So in pleasure, vigata spruhaha, without hankering. Means अगर कोई सुख आ जाए ना, तो वो ऐसा फूल नहीं जाता है. Because he knows that ये आना जाना वाली चीज़ है. And we have heard this so many times. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि we want all the time सुख, अगर कोई दुख है भाग जा भाई. Don't come. He just kind of experiences everything with a steady mind, because he knows that we may think we have a control, we don't. It's part of the nature that is happening constantly. And then vitaraga, bhaya krodha. This is very important one, because it says he is free from attachment, fear, and anger. So here, why did they use only these 3 things? Because again, every disturbance that comes in our mind is due to these 3 things, and they are completely related to each other. That's what he's talking about. Because attachment क्यों होता है? Because we have a wrong understanding of the world. So we get attached to our body, our ideas from within ourselves, and then outwardly we get attached to our house, our possessions, our children, our relationships. You just name it. Continue. It does go on. Our grandchildren, attachment. But what happens from the attachment? Immediately जब attachment होता है ना, तो सबसे पहले fear आता है अपने मन में. Oh my God, what if I lose this? And पहले तो अगर किसी चीज़ से attachment हुआ तो fear इसलिए हाय मुझे शायद नहीं मिलेगा वो. Fear चालू हो जाता है. And then, oh my God, once I get it, it's going to get away from me. Fear. So normal person lives in fear constantly. And we have seen the fear factor in America, like before even this virus came, we discussed that. There's so much fear. The whole industries are based on fear only, So you have to be careful and all that. It's not telling about that. It's talking about unnecessary fear. Then, what is the relationship of anger now with attachment? The moment I'm attached to something, and if I want it very badly, clinging attachment if I have. They're not talking about normal, simple thing. Clinging attachment. The first thing is fear, and then also what happens is something comes in the way of me achieving that. And it doesn't have to be material possession. It can be, I want this person to behave like this. My emotions, all of that comes under that. The whole yard comes under that. If I don't get what I want, some object comes in front of it as an obstacle, anger starts. Because usually, we have this idea in the world, oh, that person made me angry. Don't we say that? He's saying, no, 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 no. Nobody can make you angry. Your own attachment is making you angry. So anytime we are angry, we can analyze it. Wo time pe we may not be able to because we are too much in it. But as we go away from it later on, just analyze it from this perspective that they're talking about in Bhagavad Gita. I am responsible for my own anger because I want something so bad. So this person, the Sthita Prajna, does not have attachment, therefore he doesn't have fear and anger. So everybody kind of got that relationship, because this is a very, very important thing, Sthita Dhi, we already know that I told you that's the same as Sthita Prajna. Dhi means buddhi, or like your intellect, the one who has a steady intellect, so steady wisdom. Muni is sage, and I already gave what Muni means. What happened here? 1 second, huh? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why suddenly something happened. I can still see all of you, but you are viewing Joginder Kohli's screen. I think you have to do the share screen ko stop karna padega aapko. Jo. Somehow he pressed something and it went on his screen.
What do we have to do?
Nothing. You don't have to do. I think Joe did something.
Yeah.
All of you are seeing the same thing?
Yeah, we're seeing you now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, now I switched to somebody else. I can see Meena now.
No, that's okay. Whoever is speaking will come. Okay, that's all right. I don't know what happened. If everybody can see me, I'm going to just continue. It's saying that you are viewing Joginder's screen, but that's okay. So, Muni, we already said, Uchyate, and now it became okay. Uchyate means he's called that. Okay, so now who has a book? Okay. This is because of talking. I'm okay.
Yeah, I have the book.
Okay, Meena ji, you can, since you came after so long, you take the honor of reading. Not Meena ji, sorry. Meera ji. Meera ji, I'm sorry. You have to unmute. Unmute, Meera ji.
Yeah. Sorry. Just wanted to say it's such a pleasure to be back and to see all these wonderful faces. So I'll continue now. He whose mind is not shaken up by adversity and who in prosperity does not hanker after pleasures, who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady wisdom.
So now after I told everything, you know exactly what he's talking about, right? So now we can go forward.
Okay. In describing the attributes of a perfect sage, having explained that he is the one who has come to sacrifice all his petty desires in his self-discovered self-satisfaction in the self, Krishna explains that another characteristic by which we can recognize a sage is his equanimity in pleasure and pain. If in the last stanza Krishna considered man as an actor, herein he is considering him as an experiencer, a bearer of body afflictions.
So what he's trying to say here is that last paragraph में उन्होंने बताया कि how does he, उसका mind कैसे काम करता है, and now he's talking about कि जो हमने जो ये दुख बोला है ना, so bearer of body affliction, सारे दुख हमारे body से शुरू होते हैं, relationship वाले भी, we have somewhere discussed this, that all our relationship is because of this body, right? The moment we quit the body, where does the relationship go? Boom, it's gone. So that's why he said it, that body affliction.
Okay. One who is a stable being whose heart is undisturbed in sorrow or joy, who is unattached, fearless, and sends anger, free of anger, is described here as a muni, a silent sage. About the emotions that must be
एक
absent
second
in
ना
an individual.
Sheila ji, can you unmute yourself? Okay, I can do it maybe for you. See, yeah, ठीक है, बोलिए.
About the emotions that must be absent in an individual who is a master in all situations, we are here potentially told only these: A. Attachment, raga; B. Fear, bhai; and C. Anger, krodh. In fact, when we read biographies of the perfected ones in the entire history of mankind, we find in almost all of them an antithesis of an ordinary man. The 100 emotions common to ordinary man are not at all seen in a perfect one, and therefore we feel surprised when the absence of only these three qualities is asserted so emphatically here. Naturally, a careful student gets suspicious. Has Vyas overlooked all of the other features? Can this be a complete statement? But on a closer look, we shall discover that he has not committed the crime of inappropriate emphasis upon the non-essentials, as critics have been tempted to point out.
Okay, so here, I discussed a lot of things already. So now you know that why he mentioned all three. Because जितने भी बाकी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं ना, वो ये तीनों की वजह से ही आते हैं. अभी एंगर का भी थोड़ा सा हम लोग देखें कि कहाँ से आता है. कि मैंने बताया ना, वो अटैचमेंट हो जाती है हमारे कोई चीज़ों से या इमोशन से या पीपल से. तो शुरू होता है थोड़ा इरिटेशन से, इम्पेशेंस से शुरू होता है. द इम्पेशन एंड इरिटेशन देन टर्न्स इनटू एंगर. और फिर वो जब एंगर को अगर कोई समझे नहीं और कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाए, तो वी नो कि दुनिया में क्या क्या हैवक होता है. पीपल इवन किल, people totally go berserk is because of severe. तो जितना ज़्यादा severe attachment होगा, उतना ज़्यादा severe भय, fear, और उतना ज़्यादा anger आएगा. It's directly proportionate to your own attachments. And then there was one more thing I wanted to bring out, which somebody came up with a very beautiful analogy. See if it kind of connects with all of you. They said, why is that person so established? So he gave the example of the magic show. कि मैजिक शो में जब हम लोग जाते हैं, तो हम लोग कैसे हर एक चीज़ को देख कर एकदम शॉक्ड हो जाते हैं. वाओ, लाइक वो एक लेडी को काट दिया जाता है, ये वो, राइट? And we are like totally shocked and surprised. But the magician himself is not scared, because he knows it's just Maya. Dunya Maya hai. And the people who are working with him, who know how this works, they are also not surprised, because they have identified with the magician. He knows what he's doing. So he's saying that the jo sthita prajna hai na, he has identified with the magician of this universe. He knows everything he does, nothing is going bad. It seems like it's going bad, to us in our ignorance. So I personally thought that analogy was beautiful. So he's saying that don't get fascinated by, magic, but identify with a magician. Then you will be totally safe,
Yeah. In the previous stanza, we were told that he is perfect who has forsaken all cravings that bubble up in his mind. And this stanza asserts the mental stability of such a one. In the world outside, through our interaction with the sense objects, we can very easily realize that our attachments with things create in us the pains of the perplexing fear, phobia. When an individual develops a desire that is strong enough to make a deep attachment, instinctively he starts entertaining a sense of fear for the non-winning of the object that is so deeply desired, and if it has been secured, then again he fears for the security of the same acquired object.
So we already discussed that how the attachment leads to fear, because पहले हमको fear होता है हमको मिलेगी नहीं, फिर हमको fear होता है वो चली जाएगी चीज़. So that's where the whole thing starts.
Similarly, when an object has charmed one to the point of deep attachment, and when fear itself has started coming up in waves to disturb the individual, then such an individual's attitude towards those that come between him and the object of his attachment is called anger. Anger is thus nothing but a feeling that arises within us because of our attachment to an object, towards an obstacle between ourselves and the object of our attachment. The anger thus arising in a bosom is directly proportional to the amount of fear one entertains on the score of the obstacle holding one back from winning one's object of love. Anger, therefore, is only a rag for an object expressed in an obstacle that has interfered with our love, threatening to rob us of the object of our desire.
So we discussed this also in detail, that how the anger comes is some obstacle comes in the what we want, that's when come. Anybody has any question about this? Because this is almost like a very basic theme now as we go to the other chapters. The whole concept of where fear and anger is coming from. This continues till the end, this theme. So it's very, very important that we contemplate upon it and know. And one of the experiments we can do this ourselves is every time we get angry, think, which attachment of mine caused me to be angry, and then we can, work on that. And the other thing is Vitaraga is like a word. It's like a dispassion from the raga, because हम लोग को क्या है कि in this worldly materialistic society, we are all constantly doing that get the things that make us happy, and whatever I don't like, get rid of it. दूर भगाओ, उसी में हमारी पूरी जिंदगी चली जाती है. So basically what he's saying is this man of steady wisdom is above Vit and Raga. So he doesn't even care about the Raga. That's the most important thing he's telling you, that because the moment you want just the things that you want, the flip side happens immediately. I don't want that other thing. So, and then a normal person, like one of the Swami said it so beautifully, we wake up with these three things in us. And we sleep with these three things with us. हम लोग को बिल्कुल छुटकारा नहीं मिलता है पूरे दिन. Whereas this guy is like so relaxed. In fact, he went as far as saying we are born in all these things and we die in these things. So this is really, really important, that if we can understand this concept, it will serve us. Even if we can get a little bit of it, our life becomes much, much better. And even current situation, you will stay calmer. If you have not pondered upon these things, fear is like, moment you continuously watch the news, you will see what happens. It's only fear that is going to breed in our head. But if we contemplate something like this, even among the difficult situation, we'll be calm. We can make other people also feel calm. Anybody has a comment? Okay, you can go.
Sanskara says that a man of steady wisdom is not distressed by calamities such as A, those that may arise from the disorders of the body, adhyatmika; B, those arising from external objects such as tigers and so on, adhibhautika; and C, those arising from unseen causes such as the cosmic forces causing rains, storms, and so on, adhidaivika. Fire increases when fuel is added, but the fire of desire in a perfect one does not increase when more pleasures are attained. Such a person is called a man of steady knowledge, a silent, serene sage.
So here it is Shankara says. Shankara is actually the disciple of Gaudapada who did the Karika. So Shankara, this whole philosophy, Shankaracharya ji is very, very important because he had the maximum commentary written on Advaita Vedanta. So I already discussed those three afflictions, right? The Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and that also, the theme continues in Bhagavad Gita. So any question on this particular verse? Anybody? I'm just trying to see if I missed any point. I think we hashed it out pretty good. Okay. Should we go to the next one?
Yes, I think we are ready.
Everybody is very silent today. No, you can unmute. I said, no, I'm not. I didn't ask you to mute so that you don't talk at all. I just asked you to mute because everybody's house noise comes together and then it gets amplified. You know, you can express your opinion or whatever you want to do.
We are all trying to be sthit pragya today.
Yeah. So he's one very important thing that I learned. He's talking about sthita pragna inside our mind. बाहर से तो हम बहुत स्थित प्रज्ञ हो जाएंगे